quality of your relationships and how loved and cared for you feel by your partner to a large extent is determined by your attachment styles. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about how attachment styles are formed, developed, how they transform throughout your life, and how they impact your present relationships. To understand attachment styles, we need to understand something very fundamental, what it means psychologically and biologically to be a human. All of us have biological and psychological needs to feel close to people we love. We want to feel safe. We want to feel cared for. This need pushes us to maintain proximity, either physical closeness or emotional closeness. And when that distance increases, our system automatically tries to close that gap. Now, who do we feel this towards? An attachment figure is someone with whom we share an emotional bond, someone who meets our needs to feel seen, heard, loved, and understood. In childhood, these are usually our caregivers, parents, grandparents, or anyone else who raised us. And the way they respond to us in the first 5 to 6 years of our life has a long term impact on how we experience our relationships. You can actually see this very clearly in children. When a caregiver is not around, the child doesn't stay calm. They cry, panic, search, and become difficult to soothe, right? And they only calm down when they reconnect with that attachment figure. This tells us something very important. We are wired for connection and we are wired to maintain that connection at all costs. So, when we feel that connection is threatened, we engage in something called protest behaviors. Protest behaviors is anything we do to re-establish closeness with our attachment figure. Currently, it can look like calling repeatedly, texting again and again, crying, withdrawing, or even shutting down in hopes that the attachment figure will come back to us. Think about this. When you keep checking your phone, rereading a message, calling them more than once, even when they haven't responded, that's not being too needy. That's your system trying to restore connection with that person, to have reassurance that yes, they are there for me. This type of intensity of protest behavior depends on our relationship with our attachment figure, not just the current one, but with the number of attachment figures we've had in our life. A simple way to understand early relationships is through 3 components: accessibility, responsiveness, and engaged. Is the person available to me is accessibility. Think about this. When you needed your parent, were they actually there for you? Second, responsiveness. When I reach out, do they respond to me? Not just physically present, but when you cried, did someone respond to you? Or were you left alone to handle it? And 3, engagement. When they respond, are they emotionally present for you? Are they truly there for you, or are they just dismissing you with it? It's okay, don't cry, it's not important. If a child experiences consistent accessibility, people I love will be there for me. If a parent is present but emotionally unavailable, even when people are around, I'm still alone. If a parent is inconsistently there, sometimes not, I have to try harder to be loved. Maybe if I do more, they'll stay. If a child's emotions are dismissed or minimized, my feelings are not important. It's better if I don't express. These are not conscious thoughts as a child. They become deeply internalized beliefs. And this becomes your blueprint for your further relationships. Accessibility, responsiveness, engagement, how your parents replied to you, how your caregivers replied to you, you expect the same out of your future relationships. So later in life, you're not starting fresh in relationships. You're responding based on what you've already learned as a child. As you grow older, you begin to choose your attachment figures, not consciously, but emotionally. It could be a friend, a cousin, or a parent, or a partner. Someone becomes important to you, and that emotional bond becomes your attachment figure. So, attachment styles describe how you experience your relationships, and you can have different attachment styles with different people. Secure attachment. You feel comfortable with closeness, you trust that people will be there for you. Even if someone doesn't reply immediately, your mind doesn't jump to, oh, they're leaving me. You feel steady. Anxious attachment, this feels very different. You want closeness deeply, but you don't feel secure in it. It can sound like you send a message, they don't reply, and suddenly your mind goes, why aren't they replying to me? Did I do something wrong? Do they want to leave me? Do they even love me? And even if they reassure you, it calms you for a moment, and then again the doubt comes back. Avoidant attachment. Here, closeness itself feels very uncomfortable. You might want connection, but you find it very uncomfortable. You might say, I don't really need anyone. I'll handle it by myself. And expressing emotions, asking for help, or depending on someone doesn't come naturally to you. So, at the core, all of us are asking three things in relationships. Can I be close to you, which is intimacy? Will you stay connected to me, which is connection? And will you reassure me when I feel unsure? That's reassurance. Secure feels safe with all these three. Anxious craves them but fears losing them. And avoidant distance themselves from them. Secure individuals hear, I love you and feels okay. Anxious individuals hear it but still doubt it later. Avoidant individuals don't actively seek reassurance. So, one of my favorite lines is people are only as needy as your unmet needs. If your needs weren't met growing up, your system will keep searching for that. And here's the biological truth when you're close to someone you love, your body calms down, your heart rate stabilizes, your stress reduces. Even something as simple as holding someone's hand regulates your nervous system. So, dependency is not a weakness, it is a biological fact. You cannot become completely hyper independent, you will always need people around you. Now, let's talk about something very important the roller coaster effect. Imagine a roller coaster. The thrill comes from the highs and the drops. Now, imagine a relationship like that. One day they're loving you, attentive, present. The next day they are distant, cool, and unavailable. What happens? You keep waiting for the high again. You start thinking maybe it'll go back to how it was. This is why people stay in situationships, abusive relationships, and relationships where they don't entirely feel loved. But here's the truth you enjoy roller coasters because they are temporary. You would not want your entire life to feel like that. Healthy relationships feel stable, grounded, predictable. So, if you've grown up with inconsistency, instability, then stability feels unfamiliar, sometimes even boring. Not because it is boring, but because your brain has learned to associate love with anxiety. And that association needs to be broken. So, the good news is attachment styles are not permanent. With awareness, therapy, and corrective emotional experiences, you can move towards secure attachment styles. If there's one thing I want you to take away, it is this acknowledge your needs. You want closeness, security, and emotional intimacy. That is not too much, this is human. Second, be attuned. Instead of suppressing your needs, express them. I want to spend time with you, is okay to say. Third, abundance mindset. Not everyone you meet is meant to meet your needs, and that's okay. Fourth, give secure people a chance. Sometimes calm relationships can feel unfamiliar, but they might actually be healthy. I hope that helps. That was a basic understanding to attachment styles and attachment bond. If you or anyone you know struggles to feel comfortable in relationships, has difficulty initiating and maintaining healthy relationships, it's important to reach out to a clinical psychologist because there are therapies specifically designed to help individuals who feel this way, and let's heal.